Hey guys, before we start the A Quiet Place review, I really want to show you guys something cool. Like, check this out. Like, seriously. Look at it. It's a little Gojira. Well, that wasn't ominous. So the first thing I have to say about A Quiet Place is, holy shit, where has John Krasinski been hiding all this dramatic talent all of these years? And okay, sure, I'm not saying that as to say that he's never displayed any talent, far from it. He's great in The Office, but I never would have suspected that he could not only star, but direct an enthralling, nerve-wracking horror movie. Seriously, this is his second directorial feature, and he hits it out of the fucking park. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Like, if John Krasinski approached a producer to fund this movie, you know, this funny guy from The Office sure does know his horror, I'm gonna give him some money to make a movie. Like, seriously, who did that? Wait a second. Michael Bay? That's the most horrifying credit I've seen in a great movie since I discovered that the casting director of Silence of the Lambs was the FEUER. Obviously, the JFK conspiracists were investigating the death of the wrong leader. Story of A Quiet Place follows the Abbott family, who are navigating a rural, post-apocalyptic landscape as humans are being hunted by man-eating creatures that track prey by their strong sense of sound. Within the first 40 days of this new apocalypse, the youngest member of the Abbott family was eaten and devoured in the same way that I eat a burrito from Chipotle. It was quite a sight. The story of the movie more or less picks up about a year later and follows the Abbott family where they try to live a somewhat normal life despite the tragedy in their family and also under the horrific circumstances. Which is very difficult because if they were even just to raise their voices just a little bit, they could be dead in seconds. Like, just imagine, what would happen if they had to sneeze or fart?
No, fuck you, I'm a fart!
God, it would be difficult to live a life without making a sound. Like, even opening a Twinkie would have me being paranoid. Did he move? I really think he moved. I mean, I hope it's not just me, but I think he moved. To get around a life in silence, the Abbott family and any other survivors find innovative ways to keep quiet and survive. For example, their shoes remain off, but most importantly, people communicate with each other through nonverbal communication, i.e. they talk with their hands or make very expressive faces. From an acting and filmmaking vantage point, this is very impressive because the director and the actors have to convey the story and all the character development to the audience through nonverbal communication, which is extremely hard to pull off. And yet Krasinski, both as director and as the family's patriarch, accomplishes this miraculous feat with ease. In the film, Krasinski is a hardened father who will do anything to ensure his family survives this unforeseen apocalypse. We see how he connects with his son, Marcus Abbott, who himself is frightened beyond his wits about surviving a lifetime of being hunted by creatures that look like the imps from Doom. Additionally, we see the daughter Reagan, who blames herself for her little brother's death and detaches herself from the rest of the family in the form of teenage angst. Her plot arc is particularly compelling because she's really put in through a tough situation, and the audience feels some dislike towards her just because of how she behaves in the film. But the truth of the matter is, you can't really blame her for any actions she takes in the movie. Like, shit, if this movie were to happen in real life, and if you were to survive the apocalypse, shit, I believe anyone's faith in their family would be tested in this type of situation. So very well done. Last and most certainly not least is Emily Blunt as Evelyn, who arguably has the greatest performance of the movie. Yes, even more so than her movie and real-life husband, John Krasinski, as she has to navigate this rural hellscape while pregnant. You know, the whole giving birth and having a baby thing, all while there's these monsters that hunt by sound, you know, just sounds like a really bad idea. Also, I have to imagine that Krasinski's and Blunt's sex to achieve conception of that baby must have been the most stone-cold silent coitus session to ever occur since that one time Mike Pence got laid. You just know that guy is the type of man that will put his hand over his wife's face while she orgasms and just say, "Shh, You wake Jesus. The reason as to why these characters and this narrative are so effective is because the film is thematically about family, and director Krasinski has more or less confirmed this in interviews, which makes sense as to why Emily Blunt is cast as his wife, because shit, that chemistry was there even before on screen. Like, on some level, that's endearing and sweet, though when you actually go see A Quiet Place, it's very disturbing because you still watch a bunch of people get fucking murdered! But let's not get too gushy on the love and family aspect, and let's talk about the gushiness of the blood! And by that, I mean let's know how pants-shittingly terrifying this whole fucking movie is. First, you'll be uneased by the visual and audio aesthetic. Visually, you get this destroyed beauty aspect that reminded me of the horrific yet enthralling visuals in the video game The Last of Us. You see a decayed and forgotten farmland and small-town society that has been ruined and corrupted. And holy shit, you better believe that those visuals are super effective when combined with somber music and silence that allows you, or even a monster, to hear a pin drop from across the room. Seriously, I was in such a state of fear while watching A Quiet Place that I realized that I needed a mouth guard because I kept grinding my teeth, and as such was my mass paranoia. The scares are as batshit as they come, and credit must be given to the great camera angles, shot selection, sets, and writing is most definitely due. But what really sent shivers down my spine was the creativity in how the film toys with the audience. No pun intended, little Gojira. Immediately I thought that would evoke a reaction, but I don't know what I was expecting. He's just a fucking toy. God, I'm going fucking crazy. What I mean by creativity is how Krasinski plays with the landscape. Like, there are the as-described sign-like cornfields, granular mills, and the fact that Evelyn is nearing her due date for her baby. And then there's just the novelty that every sound could be what gives you away to the creatures, to which when those creatures do show up, we see our characters rooted to the spot, always tempted to move, but they don't, because they know if they start running, the monster will know and catch up to them instantly. And it's fucking nerve-wracking because in their situation, I'd fucking bolt it, and then I'd be dead because those creatures are fucking fast and they destroy you. Like, the film makes it very clear, and it does a really good job of this, that the characters have to make a concerted effort just to stand still and not cry like a little baby. It's like they have to find an inner peace within themselves so that they don't shit themselves.
Down in you, there should be a secret place, an inner sanctuary.
Yeah, you tell them!
An inner sanctuary.
The movie does have a couple of hiccups, though for the most part they're relatively minor. Some people will be upset that the monsters aren't really explained and how or why they exist, but that's not really an issue with me because the characters and their bond as a family are where the heart of the movie is at. So that's really a non-issue unless you're like one of those really nitpicky types that really needs like the details of the world. This is more a character drama that includes monsters rather than the other way around. The only thing that really bothered me about A Quiet Place was that it ended way too abruptly on a final shot that was tonally incongruent with the rest of the film. Like, it had more of a place in like a badass action movie or a video game, more so than a gripping and suspenseful horror film. But with that said, the characters are great, the horror, it's fucking terrifying. Krasinski has shown that he can be like Jordan Peele and be an A-level director when it comes to horror films, which is just fucking surprising and blows my fucking mind. Terrifically acted across the board. Special shout out has to be given to the child actors because they fucking nailed it, and that's really something rare for child actors to do, let alone two child actors to do. So good job there, guys. And yeah, it's really terrifying. Though if you're not into scary movies, you probably won't like it. But if some friends make you go to the movie against your will, just imagine that the monsters are Dwight Schrute dressed as Kerrigan. My final score for A Quiet Place is a 9 out of 10. It's fantastic. I loved it. It's scary as fuck. And yeah, so I hope you liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.